Hi, I'm Jessica Scavo with Michigoat. We are here in Rochester, Michigan. We are at a site along the Clinton River Trail, and the goats are here at this site working on some invasive species removal. The goal we have is to bring awareness to invasive species and to let people know that goats are a tool in the toolbox. They do an excellent job and they're a viable option. And that's something we're hoping to achieve and promote awareness about that and say there is a natural choice out there. Things do have to work together. It's a lot of work, but there's something we can do that that's more sustainable. It's natural. It brings us a sense of collaboration and community to the project and lowering pollution and putting the environment first. Goats in themselves are a circular economy in a way. They're taking a product that is unwanted and waste and making spaces worse. They're actually turning that into a resource. They're creating a food source for themselves. They are reducing biomass at the site. They are making seed spread unviable. They're neutralizing the seeds in their digestive process. And then they're creating a fertilizer. They're fertilizing the ground, aerating the soil with their hooves, improving the quality of the area. Once those invasives are removed, that's giving the natives a chance to gain a foothold and grow and re-establish themselves in that area. So it's a completely natural, reusable, recyclable process that the goats go through. As far as some economic sustainability with some of our natural spaces that could be used for recreation. There's a term green blight, where you're seeing green, but especially in southeastern Michigan, the forests are mostly filled with invasive species like buckthorn, autumn olive, poison ivy, and it's lowering the recreational use and the aesthetic value of those spaces. Also, with loss of native grasses and species, you have things like soil erosion increases, watershed pollution from runoff, and even a problem that's worsening the goats are being used for out west is fire reduction loads, as they're removing brush and all this dead undergrowth from forests to help prevent forest fires. But that's something we're seeing even here in more northern climates with high temperatures and then downpours of rain. So that's a cycle that's beginning too. And that's something we can be adaptable to and support sustainability in our economies and communities. The idea was I wanted goats for my own property to clear brush and an overabundance of poison ivy and thorn bushes and invasive species I was seeing. I love being outdoors, and the area I am, I was watching invasive species slowly over time take over natural landscapes and take over native plants in the area. So I thought, this is something really interesting that I'm seeing here, and maybe I could do something about it.
In overgrown areas where it's not easy to see what the terrain is, the goats can be brought in and clear the grounds to see if there are cricks that were not known, or gullies, or obstacles such as broken cement or even vehicles of sorts. And so the goats create a safe environment for if they're going to bring in the machinery afterwards. The goats will provide a clear environment so that surveys can be done.
The key that kickstarted this was a whole combination of things. It was a scenario where one thing was falling into place after another. We had an opportunity with a couple friends, partners of ours, to start a business, and that didn't work out for us. So despite that, I took that as an opportunity to take the time and to think about something I would really love doing and could be behind and enthusiastic about. And that's when the idea with the goats started developing for me. I started researching, making calls across the country, to Canada even, talking to professors, engineers, farmers, people who had been doing goat grazing, solar grazing, just gathering a whole bunch of information. And I just had so much enthusiasm for this project, and that's how it went forward and developed.
The future of Michigoat, we'd like to continue clearing invasive species and keeping grounds clean and potentially increase our herd and make this a commonplace tool to be used by environmentalists.
The thing about invasive species is what I learned. I knew nothing about them a few years ago, and now I, like Jessica had said, Scavo had said, this is green blight. I thought, wow, this is green space. It was like I found out there was no Santa Claus, is that I did not understand a lot of this green space is filled with invasive species. And invasive species are economically and ecologically devastating to the environment. And it costs money to get them out of the areas that they have invaded.
A goal of businesses we're seeing today is they're trying to reach goals for lowering carbon footprints and lowering emissions. We do have climate change is a top priority these days, and also putting the customer and the people they're representing in the forefront and serving them well. So we think by including these, if we can help some of these businesses and lower and some of these carbon emissions and meet some of these goals they're trying to achieve and be a part of that by bringing in a natural solution, we think that would be really a great thing to do to support sustainability and renewable energy moving forward.
What can happen with the invasive species is they're taking over the natural species which causes devastation with biodiversity. It feeds our pollinators, it feeds our wildlife. Because of the invasive part, these plants give nothing back. They take away. So that's why I'm pushing for people to get to know what the native plants are, plant them in their own backyards, but also encourage their municipalities to plant them. And you can have invasive species pools, so you can get your community involved to get rid of these plants.
I like being outdoors. I can be outside all day, but I feel like we've got a beautiful planet here and it's a gift, and if we can be stewards and help support that, and I can support something that is natural and bring awareness to people. I enjoy having kids see the goats and the educational part of that and learning, and then maybe this would be more and more of a common practice and reintroduce that into the way we do things and just work to preserve our spaces and sustainable and improve in whatever we do and take care of things.